Yes, here we go again. Once again, man. Back on my channel now. Here we got kaijus revamped. So, um, couple of things here. Kaijus has had a bit of a. They've kind of fell off, and I'm bringing them back. So we have a new card, World Ocean Dragon zillantis. Just being able to banish everything and return it. Also, it has a battle phase effect, being able to pop things that are co-linked to the card, so you can, um, have more destruction effects. So, and I have some replays to show, and I decided to use scapegoat and scapegoats, but let's, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into some of the replays, and we'll just talk through some of the replays. So here we go against Cubics. This is the first game. So it's not the strongest opening board ever, but let's say the deck is top tier and the best monster that you have is Scapegoat to try to generate some type of other monster card. But you could play the Fairy Tale monster to be able to bounce your Kaiju's back, but it's not that good otherwise. So no, this is one of the best monsters I thought to play. Here we go, Link 2, Link 2. I was just mistaken about that Link monster. It does not special summon Earth monster when it's summoned. So that's why I ended up taking that out. So he should have just ended up Lightning Storm my back row, because I just activate Metal Reflex line. Going to different guide slimes, and kaijus need some type of monster that they can have to be able to make on your to be able to just be able to play the game. And there's not too many. Well, Gizmek is good. Gizmek also banishes like a bunch of cards off of the top of your deck, and it can come back. You could consider playing it, but it doesn't really have any effect that really is good in the format. That's just reoccurable. So here I flip the Scapegoat up, start going off into my link plays, and I go into zillantis. Give me a kaiju. Use it. Use zillantis back. Zillantis can get the kaiju back. Use alpha to bounce just to go for game. And second game is against, I guess, Cyber Dragon Machina. And it's a slower deck. And as I started off with Coyote Waterfront. Set 2. So I was trying to see what his what kind of back rows were going on. And then we go to Egyptian God Slime, give my field spell more counters. 2 kaijus on the field at the same time. You get removed brainwash and it comes back to you. The other one you just get sent to the graveyard. And that's game. This radius makes a token and it attacks for game because you can't impermanence my Egyptian God, my Radiant, because you have to target Egyptian God Slime. God Slime does have protection, so it does have some other benefits too. So open up Dimension Shifter, but this guy has Call by the Grave, which is definitely hurt. It's gonna hurt. And starts off his kill combos. So Sunny is problematic for the deck. So I do still set my 2 back rows. I just let him go ahead and activate his effect. He decided to go after the kaiju, I guess. It's a surprise. He left the field spell alone. But does have draw. Seeing as how I couldn't stop Sunny at all, he could have spent any of these cards back. Go for skill drain. And I just set 1 pass, so I don't feel like there's a need to add anything but 2 hand traps. The deck plays around hand traps pretty well. It's not like I'm just going for combos and stuff. I don't have a lot of search cards. And he just decides to go ahead and scoop. I guess he just didn't want to play that one out, but I had pretty good advantage. And now we go up against Magnet Warriors, which, by the way, they weren't that bad. As he adds a card, and then on my turn, no Magnet Warriors. Oh, get the search. Yeah, I'm just going to go Desires. And so another one gets a search and gets a special summon from deck. And get another effect to send something to the graveyard. I set 4 pass after Desires. So I just go for skill drain here. Not finna take all that damage. Metal Reflect Slime. So now you can see why like this is also good to be played. 3,000 defense off of skill drain. Yeah, skill drain is sometimes very bad by itself. It doesn't offer any defense. It's just a floodgate. That field spell would have been problematic. He could have killed my Egyptian God Slime, so I saw him Judgment. Go for scapegoats, because still your opponent can still draw out, and you don't want to take all day. So it looks like he notices that and he gets out of there. Now let's show one of the other games. Like Skins wants to more of a meta deck, but I didn't draw any of my cards to be able to play against this. I didn't draw or skill drain or dimension or dimensional shifter. I didn't draw any of my cards to help me against this matchup. So yeah. And also, I didn't know about Splight Elf and going into so I should have just went ahead and flipped first instead of doing terraforming. Because if I would have did that, I would at least had a bunch like 4 tokens, and I would have been able to make some type of monster. Like I could have went, easily went into something better like zillantis probably, or something else, or access code. Now while I have a little bit of defense, it doesn't matter because this deck is based off of just decking me out. So pretty fast moving on to the next game. So my hand's pretty basic. I just set 4 pass. Interestingly enough, I could have won this game. I believe this is the game I could have won, but I was having too much fun when I was playing this deck because it's old school and it has. It's funny because sometimes you just activate 1 card and your opponent is just have to like, whoa man. This is scapegoats. It just generates 4 tokens. It just generates so much advantage off of just 1 card. Just being able to just go into access code, and then you can go into Zillantis off of this. You get the pop a card. It just it's just about the one of the few things that kaijus can't play to be able to stay somewhat relevant and have access to big monsters other than what they have in their deck without playing bricks that don't do anything. So I'm still allowed to have hand traps and other forms of floodgates. So I decided to go for this. But I decided here to go ahead and make the witch. And it's funny because he actually decided to negate this. I was going to get a card back because even if it's destroyed by a card effect, you still get something back. Well, apparently what he doesn't know, what I didn't know, if this monster is not properly summoned, it doesn't get to come back off of Zillantis. So I get to pop that because I'm co-linked to Access Code Talker. Still goes into his link play. Zillantis lost his protection off of my IP mask. So he destroys those two cards. But I can still make a Zillantis on my turn just off of one access code. So he negates that. I should have activated this effect first because you can't respond to it. And also I should have played my field spell first right here. And then I would have had at least enough tokens to destroy his to have negates for my gamma sail. Also his back rows would have been destroyed, so he wouldn't have really been able to do much because I've had plenty enough targets in the graveyard in order to activate access code multiple times, and he wouldn't have been able to do anything. So yeah, definitely kind of through that. Now we go up against Numeron. Yeah, and it's funny because you just don't expect a flip monster in 2022. So it can protect you against 5 attacks if your opponent doesn't have a negate. Definitely would look towards there can only be one or other floodgates or a dimensional barrier. But kaijus are just very limited on what they can do in 2022. And most people just will opt to play 8 axis, which just isn't really kaijus, but you just kind of like abuse the fairy tale stone monster and just bounce back cards and use alpha to just bounce them back and reuse them. But I had to opt to play 3 lava golem because if my opponent has more than one negate, then I need to be able to go ahead and get rid of both of them at the same time. And yeah, he just went ahead and scoop because he kept drawing break. He gets breaking. That's one thing I will say about this deck. It's pretty solid. And then we get to go against zombies. And Zombie look like he's playing like the sarcophagus zombie, some kind of sarcophagus zombie deck of the new card. The entombing casket sarcophagus. It seems, yeah. But the thing is, it takes control of your monsters, but it doesn't really do anything when somebody has removed brainwashing. And we haven't had a deck in a while that's based off of like controlling people's monsters. Let's make Egyptian God Slime. You can't even target this, but you still can droplet me, so he stops it. I'll just go and link Karibo, attack over. My guys have. He tried to take control of it, but it bounces back. So you can't even have it, and you can only attack Egyptian God Slime, so. Meaning I don't even have to waste my link Karibo, unless I just want to save life points. So that's just out there. It desires, farming, activate my Kyoto. He gets his field spell to go off. Turning everything into zombies doesn't do anything to me. So he summons his control card again, but it doesn't do anything, and Link Karibo has enough power to just attack over it. And the last game against Sky Strikers. I have not ran into most of the meta. But yeah, surprised I didn't run into more meta decks. Mostly everybody's playing something meta. Yeah, so he banishes that just because he can. So destroy my card doesn't really matter. I would have got back Scapegoats, but he already banished it this turn. Get back Dimension Shifter, but it's not going to do anything at all. And it stops that from attacking. So I guess he thought that he could destroy my trap, but that only says face up spells for Destiny Hero Celestial when it declares an attack. So I think he was thinking about their water elemental hero monster. I'll go and come back, get a surge. So now I have control of the LG guy. Well, I guess he decides to Mystic Mind me. Got me thinking I should play Mystic Mind. But as people start playing more backroad instructions such as Twin Twister and everything, I don't think that relying on floodgates and things is so much of an option. So he ends up getting rid of his Mystic Mind, but it's not really going to do nothing when I flip Skill Drain, so it just prolongs the game. Let's see. And so after he sees that, he just scoops and he realizes, yeah, I'm just going to get that back. And it's going to be a thing in his next draw. There can only be one. Well, that doesn't really hurt me. So, yep, and that's the last game that we got. And let's go back and look at the deck profile. Yeah, we got 2 just Karikus, 3 Lava Golems, because you really need to play 3 of these. 2 Alphas. Finally decided to just go play 2 in the original builds, only like 1. Then you play the Thunder triple head kaiju, the Thunder King, the Lightning Strike kaiju. Then one Doke, two Gams, one Radiant, three Shift, three Scapegoats, three Draws, and then a Lure, one Lure, and two Pot Desires. I'm trying to fix my hand if I draw something that doesn't have much in it for me. Two Slumbers, three Goats. You need to be able to make some type of monsters. How you do it in two Kyotos. I'm gonna play two Metal Reflex Lines, drains, three drains, and three remove brainwash, and three solemn strikes. Pretty simple extra deck. I mean, you got your two zillantis Axis Code for Max, because you could make this off of any Link 4, and everything else is pretty standard for trying to go into Saryuja. You got your two Meatresses and your one Wee Witch, and that's just for Scapegoats. But yeah, the deck is pretty solid. It's not really combo heavy oriented, so I say like it's just have to depend on head trust, but there are options to be in with the time, especially like when you got Mystic Mind, what can help the deck stall a little bit, but Mystic Mind is slow, and then you don't have much means to get it off the field if you want to start doing damage to your opponent. So I probably want to play that, but all in all, yeah, man, just give the deck, give me a like or comment or subscribe, man, because